All right, today we're diving into a brand new whistleblower case that is just full of twists and turns. We've got a mysterious figure, a bombshell accusation from the Pentagon, and some pretty wild claims about physics-defying technology. So what makes this story totally different right out of the gate is the whistleblower himself. He goes by Michael, and unlike a lot of the people we hear from, he's a civilian, not a military pilot, not an intel contractor. But he claims to have some absolutely incredible evidence. We're talking high-quality video, photos, and even physical material from some kind of craft. And this is where the story just blows up. Because while Michael says he's just trying to help the U.S. government, a former top official from the Pentagon's UAP office, AARO, has gone on the record and called him an extortionist. I mean, that is a shocking claim, and it really sets the stage for the whole conflict here.
Okay, so let's start with the accusation itself. Let's really dig into it. This is the official line that basically painted Michael as a potential threat to national security. So this quote right here, this is from Tim Phillips, who was a really key guy at AARO, the Pentagon's UAP office. He said flat out that his team thought Michael was trying to strong-arm them. And notice the way he phrases it. It sounded like extortion to us. This wasn't some simple misunderstanding in their eyes. They felt they were being threatened, and that's why they looped in the FBI.
Right, so here's the bottom line from their perspective. The Pentagon's UAP office didn't see this as some patriotic guy coming forward. They saw it as a shakedown. They believed he was using his evidence to try and get paid, and they took that seriously enough to get the FBI involved. This accusation really set the tone for everything that followed. But, this story is not nearly that simple. Almost right away, another very powerful voice from inside the government came out with a completely different story. And I mean, look at this. This slide just perfectly sums up how split the official opinion is. On one side, you've got Tim Phillips from AARO calling Michael an extortionist. But then, on the other side, you have Congressman Eric Burlison, who's actually met with Michael, who's seen the evidence, calling him a patriot with jaw-dropping photos and videos. It's night and day. And Congressman Burlison doesn't stop there. He actually goes further, saying that the quality of Michael's evidence was so good, it shocked people in the know, people familiar with top-secret U.S. military aircraft. So he's framing Michael not as a threat, but as someone who stumbled onto something huge and just wanted to do the right thing for his country. Now, Burlison does throw in a little bit of a complication here. He admits that the situation got messy because Michael, who's a businessman, was also trying to get a government contract at the same time. And he acknowledges that the timing of it all, it could look like he was using the evidence as leverage, even if that wasn't his real intention. Okay, so with his name getting dragged through the mud, Michael wasn't about to just sit back and take it. He's come out with his own detailed statements to tell his side of the story and try to clear his name. So let's hear what he has to say. So according to Michael, this wasn't just some quick chat with the government. No, this was a 2-year-long nightmare, basically. He says he started by going directly to the military branches, which then kicked off a ton of investigations from agencies like AFOSI, NCIS, and the FBI. But here's the key part. He says he was cleared of any wrongdoing by the Department of Justice before he was ever invited to brief the Senate Intelligence Committee in a secure facility, a SIFE. And this is where his side of the story gets, pretty dark. Michael claims the Senate committee dangled whistleblower protections in front of him to get him to talk, and then just yanked them away. He says they acted in bad faith, and that when Tim Phillips went public with the extortion claim, it put a target on his back. And he even cites a death threat from China that he says was verified by the Air Force. So all of this leaves us with the biggest question of all, right? What in the world did Michael actually find? The answer he gives is pretty surprising, and his whole ordeal led him to propose some big changes for how the government deals with this stuff. And here's a really interesting twist that makes this case stand out. Michael himself, he's not saying it's aliens, or what a lot of people call NHI, non-human intelligence. Nope, he's dead set that this craft, with its physics-defined characteristics, is man-made. He thinks it's some kind of advanced U.S. tech that we, the public, are just not supposed to know about. You can tell he's just completely fed up with the whole system because Michael has actually put together his own list of recommendations for how Congress and really the whole UAP community can get their credibility back. He's calling for mandatory polygraphs for anyone giving testimony, hitting a reset button to only focus on verifiable proof, and making sure everyone, no matter how famous they are, is held to the same high standard. So, after you look at all of this, the accusation, the defense, Michael's own story, we're left with this one huge question that's just hanging over everything. So, who is this guy, Michael, really? Is he a patriot who found proof of secret U.S. tech and got tangled up in red tape? Or is he a victim of government inviting, used for his info, and then thrown to the wolves? Could he just be a businessman whose own interests ended up complicating everything? The only thing we know for sure is that this story is way more complex than it looks on the surface.